Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. 33, man. We rolling. We back up in here, man. We back up in here. Appreciate everybody who's watching, subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting. I appreciate the love for sure. Shout out to Cash Flow Wealth Builders out there in Atlanta, man. As y'all can see, man, they got that fly gear. I be rocking it. They sent me a lot of merch. Big love to them. I appreciate you. Y'all go support them out there. They doing their thing out there. Black-owned young business doing their thing. Entrepreneurship at its best. I appreciate you. Today I wanted to talk to y'all, man, about a legend, man. A legend. One of the first dudes that I met when I got incarcerated. You know, I met this dude in the jail. You know, I was in the jail for a minute, you know, and he was in there as well. He was in the block with me. He had a legendary reputation already, man. Real small in stature, but he had a huge reputation, you know. Police knew about him, you know. People on the streets knew about him. People in the jail knew about him. You know, they fashioned him, man, like a real life the way they used to describe him. Later on, when I ended up seeing The Wire, it's like he was like a real life Omar, man. You know, it's like, you know, he used to pick that gun up, you know, rob people, man. And they said, man, he was notorious out where he was from. Everybody see him coming, they get on out the way, because he done robbed almost everything in the city. They know he not playing. He's gonna bust that gun, and they set it out and get on out his way. You know, dude name was Andre, man. Andre Harris, man. Salute to the soldier, fallen soldier. But yeah, we started our bit out together, man. And he was like I say, his reputation preceded. You know, the officers, the sheriffs in the jail, they used to talk about him. They used to say how notorious he was. They was really rooting for him to get convicted, which was another crazy incident in itself. I think I spoke on him before in previous videos, but I didn't really go into depth. But to the best of my knowledge, I know when I was in the block with him, I was in there with him when he was going to trial. And I know they wanted to convict him so bad because they say, you know, they had been trying to convict him since like 78 or 79. And he had, you know, always emerged victorious, you know, beating, you know, murder charges and cases back to back. And they felt like they finally had him. But the actual case that he was on was, you know, they shouldn't have even convicted him of that. Because, you know, I can remember him going to court and he ended up getting convicted for murder, but he didn't even actually pull the trigger. But they saying that his influence was so great that he told another dude, nodded his head at another dude, and the other dude pulled the trigger in fear of what he would do if he didn't pull the trigger. And a witness from a window saying that they just saw him nod. That person who pulled the trigger and killed him went home that day after trial. Andre got life and some change. So that's how bad they wanted him off the street, which is just asinine, crazy to me. But this is what they do, you know, in that justice system, man. When they want you, they gonna get you. And when they get you, they got you, you know. But like I say, we was in the jail together for a long time, man. He was just always a different type of dude to me. He was the first dude that I ever seen fast and you know, person to person. He used to fast sometime and ain't eat for a whole week. You know, he didn't eat nothing. Dudes used to be getting ready to get the rumbling over his trays and stuff because they come around, put the trays in there. You know, dudes starving so bad, that's an extra tray every time, 3 times a day. And dudes was fighting over who gonna get the tray because they said, man, you want your tray? He said, nah. You know, he ain't want it. You know, he's the first person I seen just sit down and just meditate. You know, just sit in the floor and don't move and don't blink, don't do nothing for hours at a time. He was just at that time for me, he was just a different type of dude. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't seen that before. And like I say, he was going through some things though, you know, and you know, getting that sentence, I think it affected his mind a lot. You know, I remember we left, you know, I left the jail and ended up going to Southampton Receiving. And from Southampton Receiving, I ended up going to the wall. When I went to the wall, he was in the wall. So I ran back into him when we was in the wall. And when I ran into him in the wall, man, it was like he had really, you know what I'm saying, started spacing out a lot. He started, you know, saying a lot of incoherent stuff, a lot of, you know, conspiracy theory stuff to me. And I didn't know what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? He used to say, man, they listening to us, man. They listening to us. Watch, man. They got stuff in there, man. They got stuff in there. And he just used to say a lot of crazy stuff. And I started feeling bad, man, because I was like, man, you know, that's a big blow, man. That's a big blow for anybody. I know it was super huge for me, you know what I'm saying, going in that courtroom, you know, with your freedom and then leaving out of that courtroom with, you know, a gazillion years, you know, life, double life, triple life, fourth, all of this is like, it's a hard thing to process, you know. And then once you get in this system and you in the system and you saying to yourself, man, this is what I got to do, life and this, double life and this, you know, this is what I got to live like. That can be very, very overwhelming. And it was for me as well, you know, and I dealt with mine in a lot of different ways, but it was definitely overwhelming, man. So, you know, it affects people different and people deal with it different. So, yeah, he was going through it at the time that I met him, you know, back in the wall, you know, from the jail. So it was crazy, you know, but yeah, I went on to leave the wall and go to Augusta, and he left and went to like Buckingham, I believe. And on Buckingham, you know, I guess, you know, once he was in the system like that now, and he understand and realized this is gonna be his life, this is how he gonna be probably for the rest of his life, then, you know, he's just adapted to the system and then I guess adapted back to his regular ways where he, you know, he a stick-up kid, you know, he gonna take his, you know, so ain't no guns in the penitentiary though. And I tell y'all that all the time, there's no guns in the penitentiary. And for a stature, he's a small dude, real small. He's not physically intimidating to anybody, you know what I'm saying? But his mentality and the way he carry himself is intimidating because he's a serious dude to be dealt with, you know. And like I said, even on the streets, man, he's the first dude I seen as well, you know. He take his shirt off in the block when we was in the jail, man. He got undetermined amount of bullet wounds in him. He done survived many, many attacks on his life. He done survived a whole lot of gunshot wounds. You know, I don't know how true it is, but it was said that even, you know, his own brother had shot him a couple of times for robbing him, you know. So it was obviously that he had no cut card when he do what he do. So it was just crazy, man. He, like I say, he was a different type of dude. And I can remember, man, when I was on Augusta and I had heard that, you know, he was on Buckingham and he had gotten into an altercation with a dude or whatnot, and dude ended up taking his life, you know. And it was crazy because I was like, it's like one of the first dudes that I knew, or the first dude that I could say I knew because I knew him from the jail, that had came to prison and just in less than 5 years he done lost his life. You know what I'm saying? But I just remember that affected me like, what? Yeah, man, you know the dude, man, you know, because we was hearing dude got killed on a certain institution, and you like, who? And they say his name, and I was like, I'm wondering if that's him. They was like, yeah, he just got locked up, you know, he from out of such, woo, woo, woo. So I'm like, what? Yeah, it just was crazy. It was a wake-up call to me in a way, too, to let me know that, you know, I already knew, but this like, put a stamp on name, this serious up in here. You know what I'm saying? This serious up in here. This dude came in here with me, and he gone already. You see what I'm saying? So no matter how much time they give you, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 500 years, you ain't guaranteed to walk back out there once you go in. You never guaranteed to leave. And unfortunately he didn't. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy. Um nobody really knew the details, or it didn't filter down to us where we were until later. And I remember, like I said, a couple of years later, I leave Augusta and I go to Mecklenburg, for my little incidents or whatnot. And I can remember running into the dude on there, man, that they say who had actually took his life, right? And I was like, oh yeah, he was like, yeah, dude right there, he the one who had that murder charge on such, yeah, the dude Andre, woo, woo, woo. So I can remember when I first seen him, man, it's like a strange feeling. It's like, I felt a certain way about him, even though I didn't know him, because I felt like he did something to somebody I knew, even though I didn't really know Dre. You know what I'm saying? So it was a weird type of feeling. So it never really made me set right with him all the way 100%. And, being around him, he wasn't no really bad dude, but he was a kind of cocky because of what he did, but the rumor, came out, and everybody started talking about what the real situation was, how the whole situation really transpired. Later on, the story was filtering down and filtering down from people who was there, who was, witness to what really went down. And they was like, boom. And I could see and was more apt to believe that story than the previous story, because after I had been around the dude, I could see his character, I could see his heart, I could see, who he really was from my own judgment. So the other story is the story that is told the most, in the story that I truly believe to be facts. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, Dre was doing what he was doing on the street. He was extorting. He was taking his, and dude was young and coming straight off the street. And when you young and you coming off the street, if you was anybody on the street, or if you was any type of in that street life, or you was getting some type of money, when you first get locked up, that's going to be the most love you get, you know what I'm saying? Because people still remember you. They still got you fresh on their brain. So dudes was sending the money. He getting a little package in, little drugs, and making money and doing his thing. And so when you get that in the penitentiary too, you also going to get some admiration, because dudes want to get high. Dudes want to be your buddy. Dudes want to be around you, because they all, leech it off you. They want that. Well, they ain't got to pay full price to get high. They ain't got, they want to be close to you because they can get the perks of what you got going on. So by him being young and in there like that, though, it's a lot to come with it. Even if you was older, even if you was been in there for a minute, when you in that type of lifestyle in prison, you got to be on call, man. You got to be ready to put some work in at any time, because you got that dope fiend larceny, you got that flammery, you got that skull thuggery. They coming for that stuff. They want it. And if they can't pay for it, they gonna try to con their way into it. If they can't con their way into it, you got some of them, they gonna try to physically take it from you. You see what I'm saying? So to the best of my understanding was Dre had started putting that pressure on him, because Dre wanted that work. And and Dre was in the block with him or whatever, was putting pressure on him and letting him know, look, when you get that, man, give me this and you good. If not, man, then we both going up off here, because I'm coming to take it all, And I guess by him being young and being kind of nervous, and him probably heard about, people probably been in his ear about Dre and what he was about, forget what he looked like. This cat, what I'm saying? And he was adhering to that, man. And, he's supposed to be, what they call in prison, paying taxes to Dre and getting Dre, a little something every time he got something. And that kept Dre at bay. And then it's like Dre wanted more, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it always be. When the bully come, the bully ain't gonna never get enough. The bully gonna always want more. You give him an inch, he want a mile. You give him $10, he want 100. And so on and so forth. So it's like he was supposedly started talking to his homies and telling his homies what was going on, even though he was embarrassed. He was like, boom, this is getting out of hand. He asking for, more than what I can, and they like, well, what you getting him anything for anyway? You can't be doing that. You got a little time to do. You got to set your mark. You got to do this. You got to do that. And that's what always happened in penitentiary. Somebody put a battery in your back, and make you do something that you really don't want to do. And the people who putting the battery in your back, if they was in your same situation, they probably wouldn't even do it themselves. You know, but this is what happens in there all the time. And you got to be mindful of that. You got to be an independent thinker. I say that all the time. You got to think for yourself, because only you gonna pay for what you do. You know, so this is the battery that they putting in his back and telling him what he need to do. Oh man, you need to get at him, man. You need to, cause his word get out there. He doing this, man. That's like he extorting you, man. You doing this, and he was more or less like, man, wow, he cool. I just be, you ain't looking out for him. You doing it because you little nervous person about what's gonna happen if you don't do it. You know, so they put that battery in his back, start telling him he need to buck on him, woo, woo, woo. So he supposedly goes to Dre and tell Dre, look, man, I can't, you know what I'm saying, I can't give you this, I can't give you that no more. Dre tell him, nah, you gon' give it to me. That's what we been doing. That's what we gonna continue to do. Yeah, that's what we gonna continue to do. And he like, and I guess Dre fin him off, and they leave on them like, nah, this still going on, bro. This ain't gonna never stop, you know. And he go back, holler at his people. They tell him, nah, man, you gotta get that cat, man. You gotta do this, do that, man. Well, you know, put that knife in him. You know, put that Bethlehem in him. Get him. Now you got to. I'm telling you, that's the only way it's gonna stop, and it's gonna stop everybody else from coming at you like that. You got to, you know what I'm saying. He went for it. You know what I'm saying. He went for it. You know, somebody gave him the Bethlehem. You know, they pointed him in the direction, gave him the instructions, told him what to do. And Dre out there on the yard one day, and he's supposed to roll up to Dre, man, just snuck up on him, man, and bang, bang, hit him and just take off running, man. You know, as I told y'all, Dre a little dude, so man, it's like Dre was like, boom, you know, like really, you know, he messed up. He messed up. You know, that Bethlehem ain't no joke, man. You know, it go in you like a lion and come out like a lamb, my dude. And messed him up, man. But say he, you know, Dre got that heart though, man. He done survived many things, as you could tell from the scars and bullet wounds on his body. So it's like Dre got up and was bleeding and like messed all up, and like, you know, supposedly had said to him, like looked over at him, man, and stumbling like, you know, he hurt, he messed up, and he like, yeah, you should have killed me because I got you. You know, I got you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, boom, when he got all the distance, he stopped running. He back over there with his boys. He trying to get rid of the Bethlehem, get rid of the joint, you know. And they telling him like, no, man, he up, man. You got to get him. You better hurry up and get him, man. He tell me he going to get you. You got to get him. So they said Dre was stumbling, man, trying to, you know, make it to the building or something, or make it where, you know, the people can notice him and get him some help. And say, man, he ran up back on him, man, and and hit him up, man, real bad, man. And Dre just collapsed. And, you know, he took off running, went on his way again, man. And Dre laying there in the pool of blood, you know, struggling, man. You know, and some dudes see it, that know Dre, and get hip to what's going on. And they really like gonna come to his aid. They're like gonna try to get at him too, but they trying to save Dre. So they see he just, you know, really messed up and everything. So they hardly trying to get help, telling the people whatever. Some dudes run over there and get this big old laundry cart that we got. It's a big laundry cart. First, some dudes are supposed to have picked him up and was trying to run him, take him to medical. And they end up getting somebody to push the cart over there. They put him in the cart and try to push him over to medical and try to get him some help, man, trying to save him. And they say by the time medical got to him, man, it was too late. You know what I'm saying? He was gone. You know. And you know, obviously, you know, he get towed off, you know, he get the case or whatnot. Still not sure to this day how much time he got for that case, but he definitely got the case, and he definitely got some time. And you know, just fast forward, the crazy part about it is, yeah, he got out of prison before I did. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Before I did. You know, but that's the system for you. But yeah, man, but he killed a legend, you know what I'm saying? He took a legend out for real, you know. And I tell you, I had a little riff with him one time, some words, and that was on my mind, you know what I'm saying? The Dre situation was, so I was like, you know, ultra aggressive about the situation, because, you know, somewhere in the back of my mind, I was like, you know, you the one who, did that to Dre, and, you know, and don't think I would even sleep and let you do something like that to me. You know, even though from my opinion, and I could be wrong, because people who have went that route either by force or by choice or by mistake that have taken a life, I know they have done it. So in my mind, they could possibly do it again. So it ain't like I don't think he could or would, I should say, kill me if he could. But the could part would have been a problem because I wasn't gonna let him. You understand me? So yeah, so when we had a little altercation about something about him getting in my business, and I think I spoke about that. Y'all go back and watch the Mecklenburg video. Yeah, I was ultra aggressive with him to let him know, like, yeah, no, it ain't happening right here, player. You know what I'm saying? You can forget that and you can come on with it. You know, cause I stay on point. I'm ready. You know, so yeah, but you know, like I say, other than that altercation, man, like I say, his personality type stuff, man, he won't really, you know, I don't know, man. I can't say that he really was a bad dude, but you know, it's just probably the things I had in my mind, the perception of what I knew about him before I actually physically met him, you know, and he was in the altercation with Tink, man. When the thing happened with Tink, he was involved, you know what I'm saying, slightly. When I told y'all about the Tink situation, and Tink almost, you know, killed the dude, but go back and watch the Mecklenburg video. I spoke about him in there. He was involved in that as well. You know what I'm saying? So he had some heart, but I believe, like I said, some people got single solitary heart where they move alone. They their own warrior, they their own army, they their own navy, and then you got other people, they move different when they got support, or when they got a mob, or when they got a gang, or when they got a group of people. They have more heart than when they by themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's two different type of people. You know what I'm saying? And I perceived him to be one type and not the other type. You know, but yeah, man. But he took out a legend though. You know, that part can't be, you know, it can't be ignored. It happened. You know what I'm saying? So just with that alone, when dudes knew that about him, they was a little leery of him. But even if it weren't a legend, if you got a body inside them walls, dudes will be leery of you, period, because they know you have taken a life inside these walls, so they ain't really quick to have beef with you. He knew that psychologically now as he had got older, and he took advantage of that. You know, he tried to lean on dudes. He tried to pressure dudes now from the same thing that was happening to him that he ended up doing something to somebody for. Now he was imposing that on dudes that he felt like was weaker or younger or something like that, you know. That's how it be, man. The sheep turn into the wolf. You know, the sheep turn into the wolf when you behind them doors, man, and you can't get out. You got to adapt to the lifestyle, man. You know, like I say, the rule of the jungle is bite or be bitten. And nobody's going to have no mercy for you in there, period. You know, but it was a crazy situation, man. It was a crazy situation, but, you know, like I say, that was the first dude that I actually knew in there who had lost his life, man. And that happened within 5 years, man. So that lesson is you don't know when you go into prison. You don't know, even if you got a date to get out, even if you got a sentence, you don't know what's going to happen in between. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it counts at. What happens in between the time you go in till the time that you're supposed to get out. That's where all the drama occurs at, you know. And, you know, what made me speak about Dre was because of the simple fact that, man, like I said, he was one of the first dudes I met doing this bit literally in the jail before I hit prison. And then the irony of the whole situation is, you know, I remember being leaving Mecklenburg and going to Greensville. And during the course of the time I was on Greensville, I ran into Andre's son, AJ Jr. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy. And he was he was trained to go too. You know, a little young dude, but he was muscular. He was cut up. He stayed about that business. He stayed about that action. He was steady getting in the fights and doing what he do. So he was about that business. And I had, you know, got to know him a little bit, you know, and he felt a certain type of way about what happened to his pops. You know, and at that time, we all still locked up. Now, it ain't no doubt in my mind. I don't know what the administration knew or whether they had that on record or whatever, but there's no doubt in my mind. I verbally have heard it out. If he would have ran across something, it would have been some problems. You know what I'm saying? It'd have been some serious problems, you know. So, you know, like I say, it goes like that in prison too. You know, you could do something to somebody, whether it kill them or hurt them or beef with them or be in a rumble with them. They gonna have family in there somewhere. They gonna have some people who rock with them in there somewhere. They gonna have somebody that you may run across. So the beef don't never stop. It don't never stop in prison, man. Once you go physical, you in the game. You know what I'm saying? You in the game now because everybody knows somebody. Everybody affiliated with somebody. It's just a matter of how those people gonna carry that you cool with when you run across them. You know what I'm saying? I've had dudes, like I said, it was like brothers to me. If you would have harmed them and then you would have been in my presence and I had knowledge of it, I would feel compelled to do something. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's what they would do if the shoe was on the other foot. You know, and that's why I told you and that's always been in me, because you go back to what I just said about the Dre stuff. I didn't even know Dre like that. But just when I first met Rio, I had those funny thoughts because of what I knew he had done. You know, to somebody that I barely knew. You know, but just on the strength that he was one of the first persons that I met being locked up. It was crazy because Dre didn't even do no whole lot of talking in jail. When we was in the jail, he ain't do no whole lot of talking at all. He was meditating, he was fasting, and he was doing stuff that I hadn't even seen before. So, you know, but yeah, but AJ Jr., man, he was on it. He stayed locked up because he stayed about that action. But, you know, obviously they never ran into each other, you know, before, you know, Rio ended up getting out or whatnot. Whether the administration had him on keep separate, I don't know. And then what's even more crazy, as I'm in Nottoway, you know, in 2019, 2020, right before I make parole, one of the little dudes that's in the block with me, he got a best friend. His best friend is black, and black is Andre's other son. You see what I'm saying? That's his other son. You know, and me and him we got way cooler than me and AJ was, you know, and way cooler than me and his pop was, because I seen him a lot and I talked to him a lot. And we even talked about the situation about his father. We even talked and I let him know his father was one of the first dudes I met, you know what I'm saying, when I got locked up. And you know, I told him, you know, I thought he was a cool dude, and I believe that. I thought Andre was a cool dude, man. He was all right, you know, besides his reputation, you know what I'm saying? Because people can have a reputation and people can do things, people can do crazy things, people can do bad things, but, you know, for whatever reason, only they know. But when you're around a person, that's when you get to feel the characteristics of a person and to feel what they really think. Not what they do, but what they think, how they are, the essence of them. And I felt like he was a good dude, but, you know, I'm quite sure a whole lot of other people felt a whole different way because of what their experiences was with him. But from my experiences with him, he was a good dude, man, you know what I'm saying? And I told his son that as well, you know. And his son was a good dude, you know what I'm saying? He really wasn't on the type of time that his pops was, nor the type of time that AJ was, his brother. You know, but yeah, I just thought that's just a crazy situation right there, to know the first dude that I was locked up with get killed within 5 years of doing his time, and then I run into both of his sons throughout the course of my incarceration. You know, amazing coincidence, man, amazing coincidence. But, you know, this is prison. You know, like I say, it's crazy situation. You see crazy things. You have to experience a whole lot of ups and downs, man. And you know, you have to deal with it, man. Because if you sit back and think about what's going on around you, and you sit back and you look at this stuff and you don't process this stuff correctly, or you panic or underestimate or underappreciate what's happening, and you in a world of trouble. You know what I'm saying? You in a world of trouble. You know, it's mental even more so in prison than it is physical. Because once you lose your mind in there, once you lose focus of what the main objective is, to stay alive and to stay safe and to stay healthy, once you lose focus of that by fear or anything else, man, you on the clock. You on the clock from when, you know, it's gonna self-destruct, or when something is gonna happen, it's gonna be out your control, you know. And yeah, it's a mental war every day. and you just hope that it's not a physical war every day or that day or the next day, but it's a mental war every day. Because when you live in that type of life and seeing everything going on around you, man, it's like, man, you know, I don't care what you in there for. The thought gonna cross your head sooner or later, man. I messed up. You know, I really messed up. You know, and yeah, because when you gotta live that life, brother, you don't know every day that you really messed up. You know, so yeah, man. But that was Andre, man. The death of a legend, man. The death of a legend, man. On some penitentiary stuff, you know. So I just hope his soul is at peace, man. And shout out to him and his family and everybody, man. But yeah, I just remember that, and I wanted to share that with y'all. You know, and it's just another lesson for these young people out here. What can happen to you in prison, and it don't matter what you're doing out here on these streets, man. I told you it's a blessing in every lesson. It don't matter. This man was feared on the street by mostly everybody. Notorious, dangerous. Prison took his life in less than 5 years. Out of all the things he survived out here on the street, prison took his life in less than 5 years. You know, that shows you the unpredictability of prison, the danger of prison, the atmosphere, the environment. You know, nothing is guaranteed, man. So, you know, the blessing is, man, that you out here and you ain't never got the experience in that. So whatever's going on with you out here now that may end you in there, man, you got an opportunity right now to cease that, bro. Cease that. Cease that before it's too late, my brother. Before it's too, and not saying that you will go in there and get killed. Not saying that. Not saying that you will go in there and get hurt, get stabbed, get the Bethlehem. Not saying that neither. But I am saying you will go in there and you will be in pure misery. Misery and regret and pain and just pure uncut viciousness that you will have to witness every day. And who wants to live like that? Who? When you out here? Nah, man. So, you know, be smart out here, man. Be safe and make good decisions. I say that for a reason. But salute to Andre, man, and hopefully y'all get some out of this story. Hopefully y'all share this, man, with some of these young gangsters out here. Let them know what's going on in there. Let them see this is real life here, bro. This is not no Oz. This is not no TV. This is not no movie. This is real life, you know, and real loss of life. So, you know, y'all take heed to this, man, and share this video. And if not, give it to somebody that you know need to hear it. I appreciate y'all out there, man. Be safe, be smart, make good decisions. We out here. We out here. We trying to teach them and reach them. We trying to teach them and reach them. You know, let's save them, man. If we can, let's do our part, man. Salute out there. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions, man. And boom, 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 boom. Duck them hooks, man. They out here. Peace.
The Banky special. Yeah, pure deliciousness. Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.